Welcome everyone to Glendale Community College here in Glendale, Arizona, as we have the final home game of the season for one of these teams, as we have today for you the hosting Glendale Gauchos taking on the Pumas of Paradise Valley Community College. Hi, I'm Adrian Palaio, and Seth Askelson will be joining me in just a little bit in what is the final home game of the season for the Gauchos. Gauchos coming in with playoff hope still left to go, as if they can win these finals in the last available playoff spot. Seth, what are we going to be looking today from the Gauchos?
We're going to look for a lot of fight. The motto all season has been next best thing, and for the Gauchos right now, the next best thing is each pitch, each swing. They need to win both games today, so they just need to take their time. They know they can win both. Let's see if they can get it done.
And on the mound today for the Gauchos is going to be Bo Brisky, number 4, coming in with a record of 5-2, a 3.12 ERA. Just a little bit over 66 innings pitched, 23 earned runs, and 54 strikeouts to his name. So we're going to see if Brisky can't pick his 6th game of the season up, as coming in now.
Leading off to the Pumas, first baseman number 1, Logan Ennis.
So Logan Ennis, number 1, coming in. Hosting a very impressive 360 batting average, on base percentage of 445, so virtually getting on base every 1 out of 2 times. The right-hander Brisky set to go, as we are just about ready to go with baseball here in Glendale, Arizona. Showing bunt was Ennis, but it's a fastball down and in for ball 1. Paradise Valley also looking to get into the playoffs, as if they can win this last game on the road to the Gauchos, they can find themselves in the playoff as well, as a quick 1-1 count to Ennis. 31 RBIs to his name this season, as well as 2 big home runs for the leadoff hitter of the Pumas. As the 1-1 comes in, a changeup down, bring it to a 2-1 count.
And Coach Grant for Glendale Community College, he preaches first pitch strikes. So that's what the Gauchos really need to work on, getting ahead in the count and then working from there.
The 2-1 from Brisky, and it's smacked down the right side, and it's just fair. And going over is Brisky, and he will put it away for the first out.
Now batting, second baseman number 12, Brady Heed.
So another batter for the Pumas, coming in with a very impressive on-base percentage. Heed coming in with an OBP of 386, average of 327, 19 RBIs to his name, as well as 4 home runs. See the Pumas number 12 at bat for the first time today, as it comes in from Brisky. Fastball in there for strike 1.
Let's go, Brady. Come, Rep. Go now, kid.
Hit over to the right side. And it's going to drop in for a single. Making his way over to second will be Heed, and we will call that a stand-up double. Not the way you want to start off for Brisky, is quickly a runner in scoring position with just 1 out. The Gauchos coming into this game off of 2 straight wins to Pima Community College, 2-0 on Tuesday the 25th of April, as well as a 12-2 victory on the very same day. Those coming in 7 innings.
Yeah, and the Gauchos played really well. They knew that they needed both wins in order to stay alive in the playoff hunt, and then Chandler Gilbert beat Paradise Valley that same day to allow the Gauchos to stay within 2 games.
So losing, actually it would appear that Paradise Valley won against Chandler Gilbert 12-0 in 7 innings on the April 26th, as quickly a 1-0 count here to the batter, Matt Malkin.
And the April 25th game was the one they lost, which was able to allow the Gauchos to stay. If Paradise Valley had swept Chandler Gilbert, as there's a foul off to the right side, if Paradise Valley was able to sweep Chandler Gilbert, there wouldn't be a chance for the Gauchos. But because they split, the Gauchos now have a chance this weekend.
Very good hitting team, this Paradise Valley team, as Malkin comes in with a 358 average. 8 home runs to his name this season, as well as 46 RBIs. And the man in the 3-hole, the right-handed batter coming in. The 1-1 count from Brisky. Fastball in there, shot right up the middle. That's going to be a base hit. Coming around is Heed, and he's going to score and make it a 1-0 game already.
And a pitch right down the middle is not good for Brisky, and now the game is quickly 1-0, just 3 batters into the game.
Picking up his 47th RBI of the season is Malkin, and quickly a 1-0 lead.
Now batting, right fielder number 37, Harry Gard.
So coming now is the right fielder Harry Gard, coming in with a .324 average, 26 RBIs to his name, and can potentially put Brisky in even more trouble here. As Malkin's on first now, already a 1-0 game for Paradise Valley, and what is a very important game for both of these teams. Pick up a 10th there from Brisky. Nothing doing. Nice day for baseball here in Glendale, Arizona. A little bit of a breeze going southways as the 1-0 comes in for a strike.
Good choice. Good choice. Oh, here. Hey, Gary.
Checking in at first is Brisky. Runner on first is Heed, who just had the RBI single, and checking in again now is Brisky. One and one the count here to Gard. The Puma right fielder, a changeup, floating it into right field, and it's going to drop for a single. Making his way over to second is Heed, and quickly 2 runners, only 1 out here in the top of the first inning.
Now batting, center fielder number 39, Dylan Cole.
So the freshman Dylan Cole's coming up, number 39, center fielder for the Pumas. Batting average of .256, on-base percentage of .351. 20 RBIs to his name, no home runs for the young freshman. As Brisky really needs a ground ball here to get out of this hole, already down 1-0 here in the first inning. And the count comes, very high fastball there from Brisky, and quickly 1-0.
Yeah, and it looks like Brisky's having a hard time locating his pitches, and a lot of these hits, a couple of bloop hits are not making him feel too confident on the mound.
That might have been a little bit shell-shocked by that rocket by Heed, just driven right down the middle, and you got to wonder if he's a little rattled in there as the 1-0 comes in. Fastball right down the middle, and that's what you need from your pitchers. A little bit of composure, get back into the game a little bit.
Yeah, and it's a good way to come back. He throws a hard fastball, just tries to blow it right by him, and no offer there. But I don't blame the Paradise Valley hitters. Not a lot of pitches are in the strike zone, and when they are, they're getting hit pretty well.
The man with the RBI, Heed at second, Gard at first, and in comes the 1-1, and another fastball right down the pipe. 1-2 the count here to the freshman.
And Brisky, he learned from that base hit up the middle from Hyde. Not throwing balls down the middle, and he's keeping it outside, and he's keeping them low, so nothing getting in the outfield. He's trying to get a ground ball to get out of this inning.
Got to wonder if an off-speed pitch is in the makes here, as Brisky has 1-2 here to the number 39 hitter of the Pumas. Secondary lead at second base from Heed, but a nice off-speed pitch will get Cole swinging for a strikeout. 2 down now.
Now batting, designated hitter number 11, Riley Kirk.
So now stepping in is Riley Kirk, the freshman outfielder for the Pumas. Only his 67th at-bat this season, with a nice batting average in the at-bats that he's had, .391 on the season. And with 2 outs, you got to wonder what Brisky's thinking here.
And a good job by Brisky on that last sequence. A lot of fastballs to start, and then he hits him with the off-speed, got him way out in front, and now he's got 2 outs.
2 on, 2 out here in the top of the first inning. 1-0 the score for the Pumas, as Brisky has the 0-0, and he's checking in on Heed at second base.
Brisky's thrown 16 pitches so far, 11 of them for strikes. Some of the balls that were hit may not have been necessarily in the strike zone, but it seems like he's throwing a lot of strikes, but when he does throw strikes, they're getting hit.
Off-speed pitch just a little bit low. So the guy coming into this game with a record of 32-21, but the one that matters the most is the 18-20 record in the conference, and it looks like Paradise Valley's coming in with a 20-18 record in the conference. So once again, should the Gauchos be able to beat Paradise Valley both these times, they will find themselves in that last available playoff spot as a fastball goes just a bit outside. for ball 2.
And all the pressure's on the Gauchos. They need to win both games. They have to win here and on the road. Paradise Valley, they just need one win. Obviously, it's not like they're going to relax and take it easy, but they might feel a weight off their shoulders.
They're definitely know that after this game, win or lose, they're going to go back to ground ball up and taking it over to second base, and that is going to be the third out of the inning. And we will be right back with the second half of the first inning here on the Gaucho Livestream Network. 1-0 the score. Paradise Valley with a quick lead. So back in now at Glendale, Arizona. GCC quickly down 1-0 to Paradise Valley. And leading off for the Gauchos is Elijah Salaya. Pitcher for Paradise Valley today is Matt Sweeney, number 7, posting a record of 3-7. Is quickly a fastball down, is swung at by Salaya for an 0-1 count. 72 innings pitched for Sweeney, posting a 3.63 ERA, 39 strikeouts in his 72 innings pitched, as quickly finding himself in a hole is the Gaucho center fielder, down 0-2. The 0-2 pitch to Salaya, just a bit outside, and it's a 1-2 count now. Salaya, 183 at-bats this season, 262 batting average, and that is going to dip down a little bit as a off-speed pitch gets Salaya swinging for the first out of the inning. Count that as the 40th strikeout of the season for Sweeney.
Hey, ready? John.
Now batting number 9, Cameron Shanks.
So coming in now is the catcher Cameron Shanks, the sophomore, posting a 324 batting average and showing bunt but not making contact, and quickly an 0-1 count to the Gaucho catcher.
Yeah, so far a lot of strikes for Sweeney. Did a good job in that first sequence mixing things up, and now he's up 0-1 again on Cameron Shanks.
Nice off-speed stuff we're seeing from Sweeney as the 0-1 comes in, a fastball, and it's just going to be dinked off to the side by Shanks. Quickly another 0-2 count here. So Shanks, no home runs, 18 RBIs this season. Has struck out the exact same amount as his RBIs at 18. On base percentage of 424, so virtually 4 out of every 10 times he's on base. As an off-speed pitch is low, nice waist pitch there, and a 1-2 count now to the Gaucho catcher, number 9. Once again, a game that both of these teams need really badly if they're trying to get into the playoffs. As a 2-2 count now it'll be. Paradise Valley needing only to win this one to secure their spot in the playoffs. Meanwhile, the Gauchos needing to beat Paradise Valley both today and tomorrow on the road in order to make it into the postseason. As the 2-2 count Off-speed pitch finishes about 5 feet in front of home plate. And a full count now for Shanks.
And very impressive by Cameron Shanks. He was down 0-2 quickly, and he's been able to work the count back 3-2. And let's see if he can either work a walk or a base hit.
After retiring Celaya pretty early, in will come the full count pitch, a fastball a little bit high, and Shanks is swinging. Catcher working his way over, and the third baseman tried to get to it, unable to though. And once again, a little bit of life left in Cameron. 3-2 is still the count.
Yeah, and that he's chased a fastball high, but he popped it up. The ball was a little too far for the catcher, and coming over was turned to lace at third base. It hit him in the palm of the glove. He was pretty much almost in the Gauchos dugout when that ball started to land, so it was a tough spot for him. And Cameron Shanks gets another chance to get on base.
Full count now here for Shanks, and what he really wants to do now is win or lose in this battle, get a couple more pitches out of him, and that is not going to do it, as he strikes out looking at a fastball. Maybe probably thought it might have been a little, but seemed like it was a good strikeout. And quickly 2 down here for the Gauchos.
Now batting number 2, Jesus Azuaje.
Turner, you too. Eddie Wilbur.
So now the shortstop, Jesus Azuaje, who retired to the side in the top of the first inning, will have a go as an off-speed pitch is a little bit low for ball 1. Azuaje batting .323 this season with a .405 on-base percentage. 22 RBIs to his name already, as the man in the 3-hole gets the 1-0 count. Hit over to shortstop. Nice job on the backhand, but the throw is going to be a little bit too late, as Azuaje is in there safely. Call that an infield single, and 2 down, but 1 man on.
You know, grab ball here. Hey, we'll run.
And that's going to bring up the right fielder, Mason Kruger.
Now batting number 21, Mason Kruger.
One of the better hitters on the Gaucho team, batting .342. 3 homers to his name, 25 RBIs, as the 0-0 count is a fastball in there. Once again, Azuaje on first, 2 down here in the bottom of the first inning. Gauchos finding themselves in a quick 1-0 hole against the Pumas.
Go on, Sweeney.
Sweeney on the 0-1. Off-speed pitch hit right down the middle. And a nice job there
Hey, boy, here we go. Sweeney, get this one.
by Kruger of just sending it up the middle off that off-speed pitch. And quickly 2 on with 2 out here. And we'll see what the man in the 5-hole, Lucas Wall, can do, the designated hitter.
Now batting number 14, Lucas Wall.
Little less than 100 at-bats for Wall this season, .327 the batting average. And he has a runner in scoring position here with 2 outs in the bottom of the first inning, and see what he can do. Checking in on second base is Sweeney. And the first pitch is a fastball just a bit low for the 1-0 counts. Wall with 19 RBIs this season, 1 home run, and definitely needs that 20th right now, Seth.
Yeah, and hopefully he can get it. And Wall's one of the best hitters. That's why he's hitting 4th in the line, or in the 5th in the lineup, as that's a strike in there.
Fastball right down the pipe, and it's quickly a 1-1 count here. Azuaje on second base and Kruger on first. 2 out in the bottom of the first inning. Once again, we'd like to thank you for listening to the Gaucho Livestream Network. I'm Adrian Pelayo, as another fastball in there for a 1-2 count there from Sweeney. And now Wall has to protect just here with 2 strikes. Try to get something going here with a runner in scoring position. Bottom of the first inning here.
The Gauchos have shown good fight, a lot of strikes early on, as here's the pitch from Sweeney, and it's popped up by Wall.
As Azuaje was running, at the pop-up is over to shortstop. A little bit of sun in the eyes, and he bobbles a little bit, but he gets it for the 3rd and final out of the inning. So we'll be right back with the 2nd inning of this one. Gauchos down 1-0. You're watching the Gauchos Livestream Network. So back in at the top of the second inning, and leading off for the Pumas is going to be number 19, George Jennings, the freshman. Brisky working pretty well. Just one run led up in the first inning, as the first one is a fastball outside for a ball one. Jennings on the season batting .265, .320 on base percentage, 26 RBIs. A very good hitting team, this Paradise Valley team, and it definitely showed in the first inning. As the 1-0 pitch is a fastball down and in for ball number 2.
One pitch, one spot.
So Brisky now working with a 2-0 count. Leadoff hitter for the Pumas, once again, a 1-0 lead. Fastball in there for strike one, just 2-1 the counts. Jennings also with 6 stolen bases this season. As the fastball's in there high, count is now dangerous at 3-1.
Yeah, Brisky has kind of gotten away from throwing strikes, something he was doing at the end of the inning, and it looked like that first pitch might have been a strike. It was a little inside, but now he's kind of lost control at 3-1, and here's the pitch from Brisky, and it's hit into the center field.
Right center field.
And Salida steps back, and it gets down. Now he touches second base. He rounds second. Jennings decides to stay at second base, and now it's a leadoff double for the Pumas.
And that's a little bit of deja vu here as a leadoff double.
Now batting, third baseman number 20, Turner Lates.
As once again a double is troubling Brisky again. Already a runner in a scoring position with nobody out here in the top of the second inning. As now it'll be Turner Lace at bat here. The number 2. He shows bunts. He doesn't get it around. Ball one. So the sophomore this season in Lace, 103 at-bats, batting .262, and definitely looking to add to his RBI total, which currently stands at 9. With a nice RBI here, perhaps put the Pumas up 2-0 right now. Brisky from the stretch, looking back at Jennings, little secondary lead there. Bunt is laid down, collecting it is Donahue, and going over to tag him for the first out of the inning. Meanwhile, going over to third base is Jennings, 1 out.
Now batter, shortstop number 25, Josh Briston.
So now up comes the freshman Josh Briston, 150 at-bats this season, .329 the batting average. Once again, a good hitting team, this Puma squad. As runner over at third base now, so just a ground ball over to the right side will get the job done right now. In comes the 0-0 pitch. Nice off-speed pitch there from Brisky. A nice hack there from Briston as well. But quickly an 0-1 count. Another off-speed pitch just about gets in there. And already an 0-2 count here to Briston.
It was a good pitch by Brisky. It started high, and Briston wasn't sure if it was going to stay high, and it dropped in at the last second, and now Brisky's ahead 0-2. And if he can get this strikeout, he'll get 2 outs without that runner advancing home.
The 9-hole here in Briston, as it's an off-speed pitch once again, but that's down for ball 1. 1-2 the count here. The leadoff hitter, Ennis, would be next.
And a good job there by Briston. He looks like he wanted to swing at a little changeup that dropped on him, and he was able to hold back, and now it's 1-2.
Brisky working from the windup. The 1-2 pitch here. And it's going to be dinked over to the back for a foul ball.
And a good fight. Looks like Brisky there was just trying to throw it right by him, trying to out-muscle him there, and luckily Briston was able to get a bat on it, and he stays alive.
Already up 1-0, can change that with just a swing of the bat, can Briston. As Brisky gets ready for the 1-2 again. Runner at third is Jennings. And that's fouled off the catcher's leg. Another 1-2 pitch coming up now.
And it looks like that 0-1 pitch, that curveball that stays high and drops in at the last second, and Briston able to get another bat on it. He's staying alive here. He's putting together what they call a team at bat, trying to get that run through. But the Gauchos infield is playing in, so if he can't get it past the infield, his runner might get cut down at home, depending on the throw.
And that off-speed pitch is what got that nice hit from Heed. First inning. A little bit of a hanging curveball, it looked like, and you don't want to do that all the time. As another foul ball here from Briston has it staying at 1-2. Once again, a nice day for baseball here in Glendale, Arizona. A little bit of a breeze, but we are going to keeping on as 1-2 the count here for Briston. Top of the second inning, Paradise Valley with a 1-0 lead here over the Gauchos. As the fourth 1-2 pitch coming in now, and it's dinked over to the right side. Tagging up is Jennings, and throw home is not going to be in time. And the Pumas have themselves a 2-0 lead here in the second inning.
Now batting, first baseman number 1, Logan Ennis.
So getting the job done was Briston. 2 outs now in the top of the second inning, and coming up is the leadoff batter Ennis. The first pitch is the pop-up. Making his way over is the left fielder and working under it, and that is going to be the final outs of the inning. And when we come back, we will have the bottom of the second inning here. 1 run is scoring on just 1 hit, and we'll be right back with the bottom of the second. You are watching the Gauchos Live Stream Network. Back in the bottom of the second inning here, Adrian Palau standing with Seth Askelson. Actually, we're sitting down, but bottom of the second inning starts off with a nice swing from Donahue, but quickly an 0-1 count. The 0-1 coming in, grounded off to the shortstop. Throw coming into first base, and quickly 1 down here in the bottom of the first inning. That dispatches Donahue. So Hunter Lassard now coming up, having himself a good season as he's batting .297. On base percentage, though, 411. Good job getting on base by Hunter, and we'll see what he can do here.
Now batting number 1, Hunter Lassard.
Will butt, turn it, will butt, get rid of it.
So Lassard, 14 RBIs on the season, 19 walks also.
Riley.
And the 0-0 pitch coming in, and it's a little bit low from Sweeney, ball 1.
Go, Sweeney, here we go, kid.
So Lassard, just a freshman, 1 more year to go. Here on the last home game of the season for the Gauchos, as that's a ball, 2-0. Last home game of the season for the Gauchos, and a lot of sophomores playing their last home game here at Glendale Community College, Seth.
Yeah, and it's going to suck if they do make the playoffs. They won't play any home games, but they want to make this one count, make sure they stay alive in the postseason races. Here's the pitch from Sweeney. It's outside for ball 3.
So ball 3 really quickly, and Lassard finding himself in position to get his 20th walk of the season. Sweeney did a good job in the first inning of getting out of a little bit of a jam, had a runner in scoring position with 2 outs, as that's a fastball right down the pipe, and we have a full count now.
And the Gauchos hitters are really good at being patient. Some of them, when they see a strike, they hit it as Sweeney's 3-1. Is going to be hit by Lassard back to the shortstop, picks it up, throws over to first, and Lassard is out, and that is 2 outs.
So 2 quick outs here for Sweeney, despite getting into a little bit of a jam that last batter. And now coming in is going to be the outfielder sophomore Sawyer Treese, number 33.
Now batting number 33, Sawyer Treese.
Not the best season hitting-wise for Treese, only batting .222 on the season. On-base percentage a little bit better at .295 as that off-speed pitch is in there for a strike, 0-1.
Okay, come on now.
So Seth, being a sophomore and having your last home game of the season, what do you think is going through their mind?
I think in a situation like this, it's grounded over to shortstop one more time, the throw over to first, and it's out, and the Gauchos are 1-2-3. I'll answer that question about the sophomores and what they're thinking in this final game when we come back here on the Gauchos live stream network.
So now coming in for Paradise Valley is Brady Heed. Brady Hyde doubled in the first inning and also did not score. It was the RBI.
Hey, find a way. Come on, have a ball.
Taking his time over there is Bo Brisky. Top of the third inning here from Glendale, Arizona. 2-0 the score as that off-speed pitch is a little high. 1-0. So the 1-0 count now is a fastball in there for strike one. 1-1 the count.
Come on, keep going. Get your base hit, get on base here.
Pop up over to the side. And it's going to be caught over in right field for an out. One gone here in the top of the third, and that's going to bring up the 3-hole actually, in Matt Malkin.
Now batting, catcher number 2, Matt Malkin.
Oh, man.
Standing at pretty much over 6 feet tall is Malkin. As the first pitch comes in from Brisky, a nice off-speed pitch down in the dirt for a strike, 0-1. The 0-1 here from Brisky, another off-speed pitch swung at again, and it's quickly 0-2. So Brisky looking to get out of the streak of letting up runs in innings. One in the first, one in the second. 2-0 to score here, as the Pumas of Paradise Valley need to win this game in order to make it to the postseason. And the Gauchos need to win both of these next coming games against PVCC to make the playoffs. And Seth, a little bit of a rough start here for the Gauchos, but can they make their way back?
Yeah, you've seen it time and time again this season. This Gauchos team is always about coming back. It's always next best thing for the Gauchos, and right now the next best thing is just keep playing your game. You're getting on base as the pitch from Brisky here is high and outside for ball 2. You're getting on base. It'll come in time. Just be patient in your at-bats. Try to work a couple walks and see what you can get from there.
Absolutely, as Brisky now working in on this counts 1-2. And that is in there for strike 3. Got him looking. And quickly 2 down here in the top of the 3rd inning. That's going to bring up Guard.
Now batting, right fielder number 37, Harry Guard.
Come on, Harry. Get on base. Find a way. Come on, Gary.
Single up the middle, and it's this time to the right side. And it's going to get down for a base hit as Guard with his 2nd hit of the game, 2 for 2 now. And with down, they have a runner at first base. And that's going to bring up the center fielder, Dylan Cole.
Now batting, center fielder number 39, Dylan Cole.
Come on, DC. Come on down. Come baby.
So with 2 outs, letting up a base knock, hope that doesn't get into the mind of Brisky all that much. And last time up, Cole put down a sac bunt, and it was stopped by Donahue. Once again showing bunt, but that off-speed pitch is just inside for ball 1. Want to know the count here?
On the dirt. Let's go, D-Cole.
And checking in on first is Brisky, nothing doing. A little bit of a breeze now coming in as we're here at Glendale Community College. A 1-0 count here to Dylan Cole, the center fielder for the Pumas. Working in the stretch is Brisky, and once again checking back in on Guard.
When Brisky wants to make sure Guard doesn't get anywhere, he doesn't want any base runners in scoring position just in case he gives up another hit. He's already given up 5 hits this game, and so if he gives up another single with a guy on second, it might turn into another run here in the top of the 3rd.
Absolutely don't want to do that. Already a hit this inning, don't want to give up another run. Already down 2-0 are the Gauchos. Don't want to add to that tally as that is a fastball high. Might have been a bit of a pitch out as Guard makes his way back to first base, and quickly the count is now 2-0. Riley Kirk is on deck, and George Jennings, who also had a double in this game, is in the hole. Brisky from the stretch on the 2-0, and that's an off-speed pitch. Making his way over to second base,
on
and
deck,
just
and
getting
George
him. Jennings, who also had a
Is the
double in this
shortstop
game,
Oswald,
is
and that
in
is
the
the third
hole.
out of the inning.
And when we come back, we will see the Gauchos hit for the
Brisky
third
from the
time,
stretch
already
on
down
2-0.
2-0. We'll be right
Yeah.
back here on the Gaucho live stream network. That's an off-speed pitch in for a strike, and they're making his way. Live stream network. That's an off-speed pitch in for a strike, and they're making his way. Live stream network. That's an off-speed pitch in for a strike, and live stream network. So leading off here for the Gauchos is Dakota Solis, as we are here now in the bottom of the third inning. Gaucho's down 2-0 already to Paradise Valley, needing a win in not only this game but the one tomorrow on the road at Paradise Valley in order to make their way into the playoffs. As quickly 1-0 count here to Solis. Solis batting .265 on the season, .348 batting average, as quickly coming in with the second pitch and another ball. 2-0 the count now.
This is the kind of at-bat that the Gauchos need. They need to be patient. They need to get runners on early, so when they do get those hits, they can bring somebody in.
The 2-0 pitch now, a fastball down and away. And quickly finding himself in a hole is Sweeney, 3-0. Did the same thing last inning, but he got out of it. And the 9-hole Solis on the 3-0, and ball 4. And the first runner of the inning as Solis makes his way on with a walk, and that's going to bring up the leadoff hitter, Celaya.
Go run. Yeah, I'm going buck. Both of them come on.
Now batting number 12, Elijah Celaya.
Josh, your way. 3-1.
So up is Celaya now, and the first pitch is in there for a strike, 0-1. Once again, the runner on first is Solis. No outs. Bottom of the third inning. Gauchos down 2-0 on the Pumas. The 1-0 running is Solis. A little bit of a hesitation there, but he still gets him over at second base.
Hey, did he slow down on the stop on that fly?
A pump fake from the catcher, it seemed, but still getting him over at second base. Malkin with a nice throw.
Oh, he got in the way. He went across. Oh, you talking about?
Off-speed pitch now is in there for a strike. 1-2 the count now. On an off-speed pitch as well, Seth. A pretty good job by Malkin to get that one over to second base.
Yeah, and it looked like Solis just kind of stopped when he went to slide, and that's how he got tagged out as the 1-2 pitch by Celaya, or two Celayas dropped in for a single, and the Gauchos have the first two runners on base. Solis did get tagged out, but they've been able to get on base.
Yeah, Solis might have had he probably would have gotten thrown out at second, but still nonetheless a nice hit there by the leadoff hitter Celaya, and coming up now is going to be Cameron Shanks, number 2.
Now batting number 9, Cameron Shanks.
So the number 2 hitter in Shanks coming up.
Up and down the line, Logan.
Runner on first, and the first pitch is outside for a ball, 1-0.
I'm out. Stay aggressive here. Go on, Sweet. Knock it down low.
The left-handed hitter Shanks, believe he got on base with a bloop single last time up. Ripped down the first base line, but just foul. And now we have a 1-1 count here. 1 out in the inning.
And that's unfortunate. That was foul. That was ripped so hard down the line, and with Celaya's speed, we might have been saying the Gauchos have cut the lead down to 1, but instead now it's 1-1, and both Sweeney and Shanks get back to work.
1-1 count here to Shanks. And it's just a bit outside here, ball 2. So at first base is Celaya, and once again a little bit of a speedster over there at the base path, and Shanks, good hitter. And a quick 2-1 count here to the Gauchos catcher. And it comes from Sweeney right now. Fastball, and once again running a Celaya, and the second throw of the game already for Malkin, and what a throw that was on a very fast fastball. But no slouch over there for the first base path was Celaya, but thrown out for the second time in the inning are the Gauchos. 2 outs now, and a 2-2 count here is Shanks facing.
Hey, come on.
And the 2-2 is an off-speed pitch, drifted over to the right field side, and it's down. And making his way over to second is Shanks for a double as it floats over the fence for a ground rule double.
Hey. Although Kruger hit a fucking Hey.
And so now Jesus Azuaje is going to make his at-bat right now with a runner in scoring position. 2 outs to go 2 outs here in the bottom of the third.
Now batting number 2, Jesus Azwahe.
So 2 outs in the bottom of the third here, runner in scoring position to see what Jesus can do here as Sweeney is working from the stretch. Fastball very fast in there, and nice throw over to second base there from Malcolm, but not picking it up is the second baseman. And now the pinch runner over there is going to make his way over to third.
That doesn't do anything. Situation's the same. Come on, Quinn. Hey, situation's the same.
0-1 the count now. It was a strike. Malcolm trying to catch the pinch runner off guard there at second base, but the second baseman was not ready for it.
Fortunate for the Gauchos as the pitch from Sweeney here is high and inside for a ball. The Gauchos did have 2 runners, and if you think about it, if they doubled without those 2 runners getting thrown out at second trying to steal, we might be talking about a tie baseball game right now.
Another off-speed pitch, this time in there for a strike, and a 2-1 count now to Azwahe. Two and one coming into Azwahe, and that's going to be a little bit inside at his feet. 1 the count now. And if you're Sweeney, you can afford to give up a base runner here, maybe look for a force out, but obviously just looking for the third out of the inning.
Yeah, and the Gauchos have been doing a good job putting a patient at bat together as Azwahe lines it into left field. It's going to get down, and the Gauchos now back within 1 with that base hit.
Absolutely just ripping it into center field. 2-1 the score now, and we're going to see what else can happen here as Mason Kruger, one of the better batters on this Gaucho team, makes his way into the plates.
Now batting number 21, Mason Kruger.
No, hurry. DK's got him, though. DK's got him.
So 2-1 the score now. Sweeney working from the stretch here. Once again, the runner is Azwahe at first. And a nice block there by Malkin prevents Azwahe from getting over to second base.
Adrian, do you think if Malkin hadn't thrown out 2 guys at second base earlier, do you think Azwahe maybe tries to go?
Well, that dink single earlier on probably would have gotten Celaya out because it was kind of awkward enough to the point where the center fielder could have just grabbed it and thrown it over to second as the 1-0 is in the dirt for a 2-0. But definitely the second runner might have gotten across. That was a very powerful single, and things happened that ended up getting the runner over to third base. But definitely a quick run here for the Gauchos in this third inning as that one is fouled off the catcher and the umpire, and it's a 2-1 count now.
That was a hearty swing too there by Kruger. He was trying to put one in the gap and he was unable to. This inning, Sweeney has thrown 21 quickly, given up 3 hits, 4 hits, and a walk, and so he's kind of gotten himself into trouble, and his catcher's kind of bailed him out as a swing off the plate is a little high chopper to second base. The throw on the first gets Kruger, and that will be the end of the inning.
A very high chopper ending the inning, and we will be right back with the top of the 4th inning here. Score 2-1. Gauchos get one back here in this inning. We'll be right back on the Gauchos live stream network. Back in here from Glendale Community College, top of the fourth inning now. Gauchos picking one back up in the third. Score is now 2-1. And Dylan Cole is the leadoff hitter for PVCC. Brisky still in the game on the first pitch, and that's doinked over towards our 0-1 count really quickly.
Yeah, and Cole, he hit at the last of the inning, but Harry Guard got thrown out trying to steal at second, so Cole's going to get another chance in at bat, and it starts off with a foul.
The 0-1 coming in from Brisky. Fastball right in there, 0-2 the count. And Brisky picking up himself a little bit after the first two innings. See if he can't, keep himself in a nice, good composure here in the fourth inning going on. Definitely the best pitcher on the Gauchos pitching staff, coming in today with a 5-3 record. As the 0-2 is in there, nice off-speed pitch, caught at home plate by Shanks for the third strike, and already a 1 out here in the inning.
Now batting, designated hitter number 11, Riley Kirk.
Coming in now to bat is Riley Kirk, the designated hitter here for the Pumas. As the 0 count, a nice off-speed pitch there from Brisky, and it's quickly an 0-1 count. And Brisky, like I had mentioned, Seth, picking himself up after the first two innings of work, and he's definitely getting in a little bit of a groove now.
Yeah, 4 pitches, 4 strikes this inning, and let's see what this 0-1 pitch comes from him.
The 0-1 here from Brisky, and this one is a little bit outside, finding its way outside of the reach of Shanks, and it's a 1-1 count now. Bit of a breeze here is blowing a little debris all around the stadium, and it's going to flow a little bit of leaves in on the field as the 1-1 pitch is coming in. Seth, you had something to say?
Good patience there. The last 2 pitches were in the dirt and they were swung at. So Kirk, he took a look. He knew that Brisky wasn't going to throw him anything good, especially after the Paradise Valley hitters weren't being so patient, as that pitch is at the knees for a strike. They weren't being so patient, so he decided to try again, and Kirk laid off.
Hey, wait back. Come on, Ralph.
The 1-2 now here from Brisky. Nice off-speed pitch, and swinging there is Kirk, and already 2 down here in the fourth inning.
Now batting, left fielder number 19, George Jennings.
So Jennings with a double earlier on in the game, and now he's coming up against the Brisky, who already with 2 strikeouts in this inning.
Yeah, and Brisky, 7 pitches and 2 strikeouts, so it looks like he's kind of settled in out there. Only allowed 2 runs, even though he had a lot of base runners through the first 3 innings. And there's a pitch, and that's a strike. Brisky not wasting any time getting ahead.
Definitely, not losing his confidence. You might have that happen to you when you get some doubles hit off you or even some solid singles, but not afraid to throw in that fastball as he's doing it once again, and he has himself an 0-2 count now. Jennings once again with a double earlier on in the game. So the Pumas still have the lead once again, 2-1 the score here. Top of the fourth inning, 2 out here. And an 0-2 count is down in the dirt on a nice little changeup there. And it's a 1-2 count now, Seth.
And Brisky had 45 pitches through the first 3 innings. This inning, he's only thrown 11, so if he can get this out fairly quickly, he's going to be able to save some pitches and maybe extend himself an inning longer if necessary.
It's the last home game of the season, but definitely you have a game tomorrow. And do you think you might want to save a pitcher like Brisky in case you need him for a broken bat there, actually? You don't mind me interrupting, and that is going to be the 3rd out of the inning off the broken bat. But like I was mentioning, you might want to save a pitcher like Brisky should you need him tomorrow. Obviously, you're down in this game, so you're going to want to keep him in there as long as possible. But is there a point if you get in the lead that you kind of save him for tomorrow?
No, because you have pitchers you can trust. You can go back to Mitchell Allen. You have Nick Kovar. You have a couple of guys that you also have Tyler Collins. So you do have a couple of guys that you can use, and you'll have a couple for the next day. Obviously, you have a different starter. So if that starter can, if you can get 18 innings, it'd be nice to get 18 innings, but if you can get 15 innings out of both your starters this weekend, then it won't be too much of a problem to get into that bullpen. And even 10 innings from your starter. That means you only get 10, you only need to take so many innings out of your bullpen. That'd be a total of 8. And so if each starter can get 5 innings this weekend, it'll be good on those arms, and the Gauchos are somewhat deep in the bullpen.
Yeah, so staying right here for a little bit longer, just talking about a little bit of, MLB baseball in general. The Diamondbacks actually off to a pretty good start this season. They lost Shelby Miller, I believe, to Tommy John surgery. That's going to be a damper on that rotation, but a pretty good start for the Diamondbacks in general.
Yeah, and it looks like their pitching has finally rounded itself out. I think Fernando Rodney may not be the best closer for the Diamondbacks, but we'll see with that situation.
As we have the leadoff batter for the Gauchos coming in right now, and we'll see who it is as the announcer says it.
Leading off for the Gauchos, number 14, Lucas Wall.
So Wall coming in once again for the Gauchos. As Sweeney in his fourth inning of work as a fastball high and in, higher than the letters for the ball. 1-0 is the count now. Sweeney working once again in the fourth inning as the 1-0 pitch comes in, and that's outside for a ball. 2-0.
Come on out.
2-0 count here coming in from Sweeney, and that's doinked over to the third base side. Shortstop is looking for it. He's getting lost in the sun, and that's going to drop for a base hit. Thinking about going over to second was Wall, but he's going to stay over at first base, and we have ourselves a leadoff single. Might have been a single. You could call it an E6 as well. Getting lost in the sun over there was the shortstop Briston, but nonetheless runner on first base for Riley Donahue, number 10.
Now batting number 10, Riley Donahue.
So the Gauchos first baseman is going to see what he can do here with nobody out here in the fourth inning. Once again, the Gauchos down 2-1 here, needing a win in this game and the game tomorrow in order to secure themselves a playoff spot. And set a pretty good start to the inning, and you got to wonder what Sweeney's thinking, having already given up a run last inning, and giving up a hit like that is not something you want to do.
Well, in the first two innings, Brisky was in trouble, and now the next two innings, third and fourth, looks like Sweeney's gotten himself into trouble as he checks back in on Wall at first base. And the Gauchos, all they need to do is they need to put some patient at-bats together. Luck like that of bloop singles will get to you when you have nice at-bats, as once again Sweeney checks in on Wall, and he's back in at first base.
Donahue, his first time up, blooped a little ground ball out for an out, and going to see what he can do here. Donahue, pretty good hitter. Pretty speedy on the bags as well, as the 1-0 comes in, and that's going to be hit right into right field for a single. And staying over at second base is going to be Lucas Wall, and already two runners on with nobody out here for the Gauchos, and we're going to see what Hunter Lassard can do after this at bat.
Now batting number 1, Hunter Lassard.
So once again, if you're just joining us, thank you for watching Stream Network. My name is Adrian Pallai alongside Seth Askelson, and right now it's a 2-1 game for Paradise Valley, but the Gauchos making their way up, as showing bunt was Lassard, but it's down and away for ball 1. Here in Glendale Community College, down 2-1 are the Gauchos, needing to win this game and the game tomorrow in order to secure themselves a playoff spot. On the mound right now, Sweeney working with a 1-0 count, two runners on, nobody out. And the 1-0 pitch, once again showing bunt, and losing the ball is the catcher, Malkin.
Come on, Sweeney!
Nice secondary leads going on there, and you got to wonder if this small ball might work here for the Gauchos.
If I'm Lassard, I'm going to wait for a strike. Sweeney has thrown 2 balls this time as he's shown bunt. I don't think the light is going to be off for the bunt, but if I'm Lassard, I'd beware of probably not a strike.
2-0, and that's going to be going down. A nice bunt there by Lassard. Gets the job done. He's thrown out at first base, and now there's 1 out on the board. So Donahue moving over to second base, and moving over to third base is Lucas Wall. And now coming in, we're going to have the left fielder Sawyer Treese, number 33.
Now batting number 33, Sawyer Treese.
So 2 runners in scoring position here, with only 1 man out. He can afford to do a nice pop fly over to the right field, but a single could give the Gauchos a lead right here. And a nice swing by Treese, but way too late, as that fastball's in there for a strike 1 after the nice swing by the Gauchos right fielder. Working from the stretch here is Sweeney. The 0-1 off-speed pitch outside. 1-1 the count.
Come on, Sweeney!
Once again, if you're just joining us, 2 runners out here. It's in the bottom of the 4th inning. 2-1 is the score as Paradise Valley is in the lead, but that could change right now as, yes, a single over to the right side, and now we have a tie game. As it is actually grounded out to the second baseman, but nonetheless, we have a tie ball game here as Treese with an RBI, Wall coming in. 2-2 the score now.
Now batting number 3, Dakota Solis.
So Solis coming in now after the RBI there by Treese, and already looking for a bang as he swings at the first pitch he sees for a strike. And so 2 outs now, 1 runner at third base. That's Donahue. And Solis looking to see what he can do, and that's just floated over to the left side. 0-2 quickly here to Solis. A little bit of an aggressive side to Solis right now, Seth, and you got to wonder if he's really wanting to score that run over at third and give the Gauchos this lead here in the 4th inning.
Well, not only that, but Sweeney, when he's throwing strikes, they're getting hit hard. And Solis, when you see your teammates do that, now you think you can do that. And let's see if Solis can battle back from an 0-2 count as here's the pitch in the dirt, but he's able to foul it off just barely and stay alive.
Yeah, almost caught the catcher in a place he doesn't want to get hit. And quickly, still an 0-2 count here to Solis, and very aggressive now, even though the last couple of pitches have not necessarily been in the strike zone. Definitely looking to swing the bats. You got to wonder if Sweeney's thinking something completely in the dirt right now, and he knows Solis is getting aggressive. Right down the strike zone, and Solis swings and misses, and that's going to be the final out of the inning. So 4 innings done, and we're going to go into the 5th inning with a tie ball game, all square at 2, and we'll be right back here on the Gauchos live stream network. So back in here from Glendale, Arizona, and leading off here for Paradise Valley is the third baseman, Lace. 2-2 the score here as the Gauchos tying things up in the bottom of the 4th inning. Brisky still in the ball game and throwing the first pitch in for a strike, a nice fastball. 0-1 the count.
Yeah, Brisky the last couple innings has really been throwing strikes, and so here's the pitch here from Brisky, and that's a swinging strike on an off-speed pitch, a changeup, and now it's 0-2, and Brisky not afraid to throw strikes these last couple innings.
Definitely throwing some balls here for strikes. There's an 0-2 count here to Lace really quickly here in this 5th inning as Brisky delivers, and that's an off-speed pitch this time down in the dirt for a ball. 1-2 the count now.
And Brisky can afford to mix up his pitches like that. You know, when you get ahead 0-2, you can afford to throw a couple of waste pitches, and we'll see what Brisky comes back with here at 1-2. Maybe he throws another waste pitch. Maybe he tries to put him away right here.
1-2 count coming in from Brisky here as the Gauchos look to end as the ball is high there, 2-1, but 2-2, I should say. But once again, the Gauchos looking to get into the playoffs once again, and they need both of these wins if they want to do so. Here in their final home game of the season, as a swing and a miss there from Lace, and he is put away for the first out.
Now batting, shortstop number 25, Josh Briston.
So coming in now is Josh Briston, the shortstop, and we saw him put away in, I believe, the third inning. Second inning, I should say, as Brisky comes in with the first pitch of the at-bat, and it's a nice off-speed pitch, perhaps a little bit high, but it's called a strike. 0-1 the count now.
Well, it's that curveball that's starting high. A lot of those guys are having trouble reading it high. They're unsure if it's going to drop in, and it really is. And Brisky, that's probably his best pitch right now, is another curveball is hit right over to the shortstop as Walhay, flips it over to Donahue, and that is the second out.
Yeah, you mentioned that curveball, and the only two guys to get really a hold of it were Jennings and Malkin. First inning, Malkin put one right into center field, and the same things that Jennings did, both of them with the doubles early on in the game.
Now batting, first baseman number 1, Logan Ennis.
So in comes the leadoff hitter, Ennis. 2 at-bats already today, and Brisky's going to be facing him for the already today. Here in the 5th inning, as the 0-0 pitch comes in now from Brisky. As it's the fastball in there, and for a strike. 0-1 the count now to the Pumas leadoff hitter. Quick fastball there from Brisky. Likes those fastballs. And see if we'll see another one right here. As another fastball just catching the upper outside corner, and quickly an 0-2 count. A little bit of a favorable strike zone umpires giving here to both of these pitchers. Really wide strike zones, Seth, and you think that might be in the advantage of both of these pitchers, Sweeney and Brisky.
Yeah, there haven't been too many questionable strike calls, but I definitely think Brisky and Sweeney are attacking the strike zone. And here's the pitch from Brisky, and it's hit right back up the middle. You would have thought that eventually. He's been throwing so many strikes that somebody would get a hold of it.
Definitely a fastball on the outside corner, and eventually someone just going to tag it. And the leadoff hitter, Ennis, is on board with 2 outs now here in the 5th inning.
Now batting, second baseman number 12, Brady Hyde.
So here's Brady Hyde, who had that double earlier on in the game. And if he can hit another one right here, he could perhaps score Ennis over there at first and put the Pumas in another lead, 3-2 here. Once again, the score 2-2 now. We're in the top of the 5th inning. Looking at first was Brisky, another off-speed pitch in there for a strike, 0-1. We have time on the play, and Donahue's going to go give a little talk over to Bo Brisky. So 0-1 the count now here to Hyde. Brisky from the stretch looking back over at Ennis. And he's back in there safely. So the 0-1 count here from the stretch. Brisky once again. A nice fastball in there for a strike. 0-2 now to the second baseman of the Pumas. Brisky usually working pretty fast, but now with runners on bases going at a slower pace as that one's rolled over to the first base side. And just tagging on first is Donahue, and that's going. So we will see you in the bottom of the 5th inning. Still a tie game at 2-2, and we'll be right back here on the Gauchos Livestream Network. Back in now here in GCC, and leadoff hitter for the Gauchos is going to be Elijah Salaya. Hitting on base last time, as the pitch coming in from Sweeney still in the game is going to be popped up over towards that shortstop side. He had trouble with it earlier on in the game. It looks like it's going to happen again to his left fielder, but the left fielder coming in with the outs, Jennings. Little bit of trouble there for Briston once again, but this time getting bailed out there by the left fielder, and quickly one away here in the bottom of the 5th inning.
Now batting number 9, Cameron Shanks.
So now coming in is going to be the catcher, Cameron Shanks. Got on base with a single his last time up, as an off-speed pitch is in there for a strike. And check swing there by Shanks, but the umpire says that he went, and quickly 0-2 hole here for Shanks.
Yeah, now Sweeney's starting to pound the strike zone, and let's see if the Gauchos hitters respond. Here's the 0-2 from Sweeney, and it's in the dirt. Shanks holds off. Now it's 1-2.
Yeah, you got to appreciate the work there from catcher to Shanks. And look, seeing that nice black block as a catcher myself, I can appreciate a good one myself. As a 1-2 pitch comes in now to the Gauchos catcher, and a fastball right down the pipe, down the first base side. It's going to be a foul ball.
Yeah, and Shanks coming in, good job fouling that pitch off. It was out of the zone, but he's able to fall it off and stay alive as here comes Sweeney's 1-2 over to first, and that's the second out.
Nice footwork by the shortstop, Briston. Get that one over, a little bit of a dinker, but nonetheless a good job getting it out. And there are 2 down here in the bottom of the 5th. Nice brisk pace going to this baseball game. Tied at 2-2 here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Once again from Glendale, Arizona. Glendale Gauchos taking on the Paradise Valley Pumas.
Now batting number 2, Jesus Azwahe.
So Azwahe coming into the game now. And he had an RBI his last time up. As a curveball is in there for a strike, 0-1 really quickly to Jesus.
Yeah, and Sweeney's now really working that curveball in there. You saw Brisky the last couple innings utilize that curveball, start high, drop in there, and Sweeney's curveball seems to have an even harder break on it, and now he's ahead 0-1 as here it is, and the pitch, it's another curveball, but it's in the dirt, and now we're at 1-1.
Once again, coming into this game, Azwahe had a .323 batting average, as well as a .405 on-base percentage, and already with an RBI in this game, as quickly the 1-1 comes to him, and that's very inside, and no, it did not catch a little bit of Azwahe, but nonetheless a very inside pitch. 2-1 the count now to Jesus.
Yeah, it looked like it sounded like it got him, but I think it hit the umpire in the leg as it even got past the catcher as the 1-2 is fouled off, or excuse me, the 2-1 is fouled off.
Yeah, and Sweeney coming into this game with not the best record at 3-7, but definitely looking like a very good pitcher in this one. As he's had a couple of strikeouts to his names, as we got a little bit of dirt rolling around in the backstop. And a 2-2 count now here to Azwahe, and that is way down in the dirt. Finished perhaps a good 5 feet in front of home plate. So a full count now here to Azwahe. And 2 outs here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Nobody on. 2-2 the score here as the Gauchos look to find themselves in the playoffs, and they're a little bit closer to that as Azwahe makes his way over to first base after a walk. Fastball just a bit outside. So Mason Kruger, the right fielder, finds his way into the batting box. Single himself this game.
Now batting number 21, Mason Kruger.
Azwahe at first, and the first pitch is going to get behind Malkin. And Azwahe is just going to round second base. So Sweeney trusting that curveball, but the past couple times not even able to finish it and get it over to home plate, Seth.
Yeah, and I don't know if he's tiring. He's thrown a lot of pitches the last three innings, and he's been getting hit pretty hard. And so Mason Kruger, if Sweeney leaves one over the plate, we might be talking about the Gauchos taking a lead here in the bottom of the fifth.
Don't want to hang a curveball like that. Definitely want to get it in the dirt, but getting past Malkin the past couple of times. Is that one just a fastball? Fastball down in the dirt, and it hits Malkin in the helmet. And now Malkin's got to talk it over with Sweeney. And now it looks like we're going to have a pitching coach talk to him as well. As we'll be right back here on the Gaucho live stream network as we have a little bit of a pitching meeting on the mound.
All right, we should throw a ball right now.
So back in now after the little mound meeting. And a fastball down and in here from Sweeney. And very quickly, it's a 3-0 count here. Runner on third now is Azwahe, and 2 outs.
After 2 wild pitches by Sweeney, and then that one's in the dirt following the meeting. And I assume the red light will be on for Kruger unless it's something right down the pipe as here's the pitch, and it is, but he does lay off for strike 1.
And you got to wonder if maybe Sweeney knows what he's doing, throwing it away from Kruger like that, but you don't want it to, completely evade your catcher. 3-1 the count now to Kruger, as that one's way too high. And Kruger's just going to find himself walking back to home plate after a strike is called on that one. He was already running over to first base.
Yeah, I mean, maybe that was a little high, but Kruger just needs to get back in the box, and he just needs to take a deep breath. He's taking a really good at-bat right now, so just keep it up. There are 2 outs, so if you do hit something, it's got to be down and in play in order for that run to score, but you've put together a really good at-bat right now, so just finish the job.
Perhaps a bit of a vanity call from that umpire, but that one's going to just go foul.
We're going the Puma's way right now.
Ripped down the third base side, and Kruger's going to be a little bit upset with himself right now. Just a little too early on that swing, and it's currently still a full count. And he could have had himself an RBI double right there if that one had gone fair.
Yeah, and that's baseball sometimes. Things don't go your way even though you do everything right. And so Kruger, he has put together a good at-bat like I mentioned earlier. So just finish the job. Just take a deep breath. Know that you're a good hitter in the box. Finish the job, whether it's a base hit, which would be preferable, or just a walk.
And that call on the strike, too, it did look a little bit high. However, called the strike, and, already running to first base was Kruger nearly halfway there, as that one's going to be chopped over to the shortstop, and it's going to be thrown over for the third out of the inning. Not the way that Kruger wanted to end this inning, but nonetheless, it is still a tie game heading into the 6th inning. 2-2 the score here from Glendale, Arizona, and we'll be right back on the Gaucho live stream network with the 6th inning. So back in now with the sixth inning in this one, both teams with a score of 2, as the Gauchos and the Pumas looking to make their way into the playoffs. Once again, should PVCC win today, they will find themselves in the playoffs. The Gauchos need to win the next 2, including one on the road at Paradise Valley tomorrow. And making his way into the box is Matt Malk. Pretty rough half inning last time with a couple balls getting past him. Seth, you got to wonder what's going through his mind as he's at the plate right now with the ball already 1-0.
Well, I think I don't know if that was necessarily his fault. There was nothing really a pass ball. The one that hit him in the mask and went away, he just couldn't locate it. As here's the 1-0 pitch from Brisky. It's in the dirt for ball 2. I think he's a little frustrating, but nothing on him. But though as a catcher, you do want to think that you're the ultimate blocker out there. No matter what pitch comes to you, you think you can stop it. So
yeah, as a former catcher, I know in his mind he's thinking, even though it wasn't his fault, that he probably could have done something a little bit extra just to, get that one straight as a off-speed pitch is in there for a strike. 2-1 the count, but being a catcher is one of the harder things to do, and not including being a pitcher, of course, but you got to wonder what's going through his mind right now. He's obviously looking to make the most of it at the batter's box right now.
I think right now he's just happy to be on the other end. He's the one holding the stick, and he's looking to get things started for his team. Like you mentioned, Paradise Valley just needs one win, and so as here's the 2-1 pitch, it's hit into left field for a base hit to start the top of the 6th inning. A little bobble by Treese, but he's able to get it back in before Malkin decides to head to second.
So nice job by Malkin to get a leadoff hit here in the 6th inning. Bo Brisky working into his 6th inning, and now coming in is going to be
now batting right fielder number 37, Harry Guard.
So Guard coming in now. Runner on first base here, nobody out. 2-2 the score here. Once again, the Gauchos needing to win this one and the one tomorrow on the road in order to find themselves in the playoffs. Brisky working from the stretch now. Checking over on Malkin at first base. And the first pitch is outside for a ball. And Seth, we talked about it a little bit earlier, but you got to wonder when enough is enough for Brisky. Obviously working into his 6th inning and throwing those fastballs very, very hard. And you got to wonder when it might be up for him. You think this might be his last inning?
I think so. I think the last 3 innings he was throwing a lot of strikes, so it seemed like he was good. This inning he's having a hard time hitting the strike zone. He did get rocked, but we're only 2 batters in. I think you give him a couple more batters, and if things start to go a little more sideways, you might see some action down in that Glendale pen.
And once again, you don't want to say this is all or nothing, but they are trying to find themselves in a playoff spot. So you got to wonder if you go all in on some of these pitchers. Obviously, not wanting to tire them out too much, but obviously get the most out of your best players, including your positional players. As we are in the 6th inning of this one, and a 2-2 game right now, but currently Paradise Valley with a runner on first base, no one out here, and Guard over in the batter's box.
Well, I think what you said about the all or nothing type thing is you're going to have to go all or nothing for 2 straight games because you have to win 2 in a row. For Paradise Valley, as there's a ball, looks like at the knees, maybe a little bit outside at 2-1 now for the count for Brisky. But you have to win. You have to win 2 games, and for Paradise Valley, you only have to win 1. So they can go all or nothing, and then tomorrow, the winner gets, whoever gets that final spot is the 4th seed no matter what. Nobody can catch Chandler Gilbert at 3. So Paradise Valley might go all out today, as here's the pitch, it's 3-1. Might go all out today, and so they can kind of rest their guys tomorrow.
And you gotta know the time old saying is always, take it one step at a time, one game at a time. But you gotta know in the back of your head that should you win this game tomorrow, there's still another game to be played tomorrow. So winning this game today, you got to know in the back of your mind that there's still one tomorrow, and that all the aches and pains that you get today are going to be there tomorrow.
Yeah, and I think for the Gauchos, their motto all season is next best thing, and for the Gauchos, it's all about one at a time, one pitch, one play. But like you said, it's in the back of your mind, especially Coach Grant, who has to strategize, as here's the 3-1 pitch, and it's going to be outside for ball 4. As you said, as he strategizes, he's got to know what he has to do because he's going to have to win 2 games in 2 days.
So a walk there for Brisky, and it's got to be going through Grant's mind, Coach Grant's mind now, with when and if he possibly wants to take out Brisky.
Now back. Center fielder number 39, Dylan Cole.
As you had mentioned, if he gets in a little bit of trouble right now, gives up a tie ball game, perhaps it might be the time to take him out. But he has been serviceable all game long, but already a runner in scoring position, nobody out here. And at the plate now is Cole.
Oh, it's good for Brisky as his 0-0 pitches towards, and it shows bunt from Cole, and it's in the dirt for a ball. All he needs is one ground ball. It looks like Paradise Valley is gonna bunt to stay out of the double play, but if he can get one ground ball and get 2 outs, then he'll be in better shape.
A lot of wind coming in now here in Glendale, Arizona. A bit of dirt flying around as well. As the 1-0 pitch is going to come into Cole now, showing bunt already, and that one's down in the dirt for a ball, 2-0.
And it seems like Brisky is trying to stay out of the bunt. I think he wants that double play, but
you don't want to load the bases yourself either.
Yeah, at some point you just have to take that out. You're gonna have to take 1 out and then go from there. Especially the way Brisky had been throwing strikes early in the game, he can get strikeouts mixing off speed with that hard fastball.
Right now we're gonna watch Azuaje as the bunt comes in. He's gonna want to follow that runner as the bunt comes in right down the line, and a nice throw from the third baseman is gonna get the out. But once again, just a picture-perfect bunt. Nothing you could do better there.
Now batting, designated hitter number 11, Riley Kirk.
So now coming in is Kirk, and after the out, 1 out now in the inning, but 2 runners in scoring position, and we're going to see what Kirk, the designated hitter, can do here. Jennings would be on deck. He had the double earlier on in the game.
Well, and this is the time for Paradise Valley to bust it open. If they are, you have second and third with 1 out. Let's see how Brisky can pitch around it. He is at 82 pitches. He's already thrown 12 pitches this inning, and you would assume he's going to be to 20 at least by the time this inning's over.
And that off-speed pitch is in there for a strike, but not breaking as much as it was in the last couple innings, so maybe a little bit of tiring. As you can see him shaking his arm a little bit there from Brisky. 0-1 the count now.
Well, and what's interesting is the Gauchos don't have anybody moving down in that bullpen, so he's at 82 pitches. Here's the 0-1, and it's in the dirt now at 84. Excuse me, he was at 83 prior to that pitch, and there's nobody moving, so it looks like it's going to be Brisky all the way.
It looks like Granite is trusting Brisky to get out of this, or at least go for a couple more batters, because like you said, no one moving over there in the bullpen, but he has 2 runners in scoring position right now and only 1 out. The infield is in formation to throw him out at home should he go. From the windup, fastball's high, and it's going to be dinked into foul play. So now with 2 strikes here, you can afford to throw one down in the dirt, try to get a strikeout here, and definitely would work in his advantage. So that way he wouldn't have to work for a double play or anything like that, and it would rescind any possibility of a pop out for a sac fly.
Yeah, and it's like you said. Now he's ahead. Now he can afford to waste some pitches. In the first 3 batters of this inning, he was behind in all 3 of them. And now that he's ahead, he can use that curveball that drops in. He can use that changeup that a lot of the guys are way too early on. Or even if he wants to, he can go inside and power it in on these hitters.
The 1-2 pitch here to the designated hitter coming in now. Once again, Brisky working from the windup instead of the stretch.
Let's go now,
Right down the middle, diving forward is Azuaje, but not coming in. In to score is 1 already, and 2 are going to score. And Paradise Valley now with a 4-2 lead. Once again, a 4-2 lead here as Jennings, the one with the double earlier on, is coming up now.
Now batting, left fielder number 19, George Jennings.
What, George? Hit a homer. All the dirt, 100% dirt. How about you, George? You choke, kid.
Yeah, and as the first pitch, there's a strike from Brisky. If the infield wasn't playing in, that would have been a routine ground out. But because the infield was in to prevent a run from scoring, that ball gets right past the diving Azuaje, and now the Gauchos are now down 2 runs.
And it was just
time.
A really well-hit ball as well, right down the middle. That might have just been a single as well. But definitely Azuaje might have had a better chance at it if he was just, fielding the ball normally from his original position. On him was Brisky, but nothing doing. Count now at 0-1. 1 out here in the inning. He can get himself a nice ground ball right here, really work in his favor. Get out of this inning and leave with a 2-run deficit. And still no one moving over there in the bullpen. And it looks like Brisky is going to be the last one to work in this inning.
Yeah, and for Brisky, he's already at 88 pitches, so I think he needs to start throwing a little more strikes. I mean, that's stating the obvious, but you're already at 18 pitches this inning. I know you're tired, but if you can get out of this, you're probably going to have someone come in to get you. So if you can get these 2 outs as that pitch is in the dirt, but Shanks blocks it at home plate, now the count goes to 2-1. If you can get somebody, if you can get out of this inning, you'll get somebody in there fresh that can finish the last 3 innings for you.
Count now 2-1. And Brisky taking his time now, working over that arm. Might be a little bit tired. Trying to get a better grip on the ball, actually. As Jennings working with a 2-1 count. Once again, had a double earlier on. And if you're just joining us, you're watching the Gaucho Live Stream Network. My name is Adrian Palaio, joined by Seth Askelson. And a 4-2 ball game here as Paradise Valley in the lead. As that one is dinked. Says Wahe working back, looking for it, and he catches it for the second out of the inning. Called that one an F6, and coming up now is going to be the shortstop, Briston.
Now batting, third baseman, number 20, Turner.
Correction, Lace actually coming up. Briston's going to be on deck right now. As still a runner on first base, and Paradise Valley with a 4-2 lead here in the top of the 6th inning.
Yeah, and Brisky at 20 pitches this inning, 90 total in the game. You saw it in that at bat. He was throwing strikes, and he's able to get the pop out there. Now the first pitch, roll high and outside for ball 1.
Off-speed pitch, just didn't finish it right there, and definitely tell he's getting a little bit tired now. Maybe a little bit weary after giving up the couple 1-0 pitch right now, as Lace is looking to increase the lead and get on base. Bit of wind going on here. Looking back, but nothing. Still no count here. 1-0.
Yeah, and for Brisky, he's given up 8 hits so far this game. Only 4 runs as that pitch is in the dirt. It's a fastball. Now it's 2-0. And Brisky, giving up a lot of hits, didn't give up a ton of runs. Unfortunately, that 2-run single at the start of this inning. But outside of that, he's pitched somewhat well, and you got to assume at 92 pitches and 22 pitches this inning that this last inning.
The 2-0 here. Once again in the dirt, 3-0. And if you're Coach Grant, you got to wonder if you want to get someone going in that bullpen, as he just can't throw a strike at the moment.
Well, and I think for Brisky, you have to be careful. Usually at 3-0, you're going to throw something in the strike zone, but don't throw anything down the middle. Don't make things worse. I know there's only a guy at first, but this is a deep ballpark. It's 370s in the gaps, 340s down the line, 410 in center, and so as the pitch at 3-1 is a strike, you don't want to leave something down or something right down the middle, because if you do, if it gets into one of those gaps, it's a deep ballpark, and somebody from first does have the chances to get home.
And Treese over there is very, very over to the right over there in left field. I'm looking at him right now, and he's practically in center field right now. You got to wonder if the batter right now is looking at that right now as well. That is a ball 4 called, and now we have 2 runners on base, 1 in scoring position as the 9-hole Bristol comes up to the plate.
Yeah, and here comes John Huizinga, the Glendale Community College pitching coach. I think he's going to go out there and tell Brisky to finish. You do have 2 outs. Obviously, like we talked about earlier, you don't want to throw anything right down the middle. You don't want to give anything awesome to hit. But at the same time, you're in the 9-hole hitter. Usually at the 9-hole hitter, that's not necessarily the strongest hitter on the team. And so I think he's coming out there. He's telling him to finish. And it looks like Tyler Collins is going to run down to the bullpen to start.
23 kind of warming up right now.
Looks like he's getting stretched out, and looks like he'll be the one to finish off the game after Brisky as the umpire comes out and breaks things up. And so I think for Brisky, it's all about finishing here with 2 outs, get that last out, and get Tyler Collins into the game only down 2, and you give your team a chance in the bottom of the 6th.
And if you want to finish up the inning, you're going to want to do it right now at the 9-hole, because you have Ennis coming up next, and he singled in his last at-bat. And he's definitely a force to reckon with at the top of the lineup. So you want to get out of the inning right now if you're Bo Brisky.
Come on now, here we go, dude.
Looking back at second base is Brisky, and it's a fastball high, 1-0.
Now batting, shortstop number 25, Josh Briston.
So the 1-0 count to Briston here from Brisky, possibly working his last batter of the game.
Baby, let's go, kid.
And that's a fastball in there for strike, 1-1.
Yeah, and for Brisky, that was an important strike. You walked the last guy on 5 pitches, and then you started out this at bat with a ball. So it's all about throwing strikes. Get yourself ahead right here. Go out there, throw another strike, get up 1-2, and then you can get back to throwing your off speed, which has been so effective for most of the game.
And you definitely don't want to have to go up against Ennis and Hyde right now, as a off-speed pitch just in there for a strike, 1-2. You don't want to have to go up against Ennis and Hyde, as they are definitely the forces to be reckoned with in the batting order for the Pumas.
Yeah, and if you can get to Tyler Collins, who's the Glendale's best reliever, that'll be good, especially as you said, getting to the top of the lineup. You don't want a tired Brisky having to face those guys who've kind of hit him around this game.
The 1-2 from Brisky. And a pop-up, and that's going to get out of play as it's over towards the first base side, and it's caught over there by Donahue for the final out of the inning, and what will probably be the final out of the game for Bo Brisky and his pitching performance here. So 6 innings pitched, 4 earned runs, and pretty good job by Brisky overall, considering the fact that he gave up 4 runs. Good job today, and he will see Tyler Collins perhaps in the next inning. But for now, we will be right back with the bottom of the 6th inning here on the Gaucho Livestream Network. So bottom of the 6th inning now as Wall steps in. Had an RBI single earlier on in the game as he sees his first pitch in there for a ball, 1-0. So the Gauchos really need to get the bats going here, down by 2 here in the bottom of the 6th inning, and you don't want to let it get into the late innings with a deficit. You know what I mean, Seth? You don't want to let it get to a point where it's almost too late.
Yeah, and especially in these last few at bats. You're at the bottom of the 6th inning, as that's a foul off behind the backstop. You don't, like you said, you don't want to get too far behind. You don't want to get to the bottom of the 9th down 4 runs where you have to score 4 runs with 3 outs. And, it's not necessarily impossible, but it's very difficult, as the pitch from Sweeney is a curveball, and it's hit into left field. Lucas Wall a little early on that swing, but it doesn't matter as he gets in the left field for a base hit.
Nice little hanging curveball there from Sweeney, and just getting on the end of it was Wall. And he's on base with a single now, and Donahue, who also has a single in this game, will find his way over to the batter's box. Nobody down here in the bottom of the 6th inning, and the first baseman Donahue makes his way in.
Now batting number 10, Riley Donahue.
Singled over in the 4th inning did Donahue, and on first base is the designated hitter Wall.
Here we go, come on now.
Sweeney working in his 6th inning as well, with a nice fastball in there for a strike, 0-1.
Come on, kid. It sure was.
Yeah, and Wasey Crenshaw comes into the game for Lucas Wall, and that's not a courtesy runner. That's a replacement. So your designated hitter, Lucas Wall, is now out of the game, probably your biggest power hitter, and he's out of the game. But you do have some speed on first base to try and get back and maybe get to a pitcher that's a little tired as
Nice curveball there from Sweeney as Donahue caught off guard, and already a 1-1 count now. 1-2 count now to Donahue. So he has to protect now with 2 strikes. As Sweeney looking to get out of the 6th inning unscathed. You got to wonder how longer he's going to go in this game, as that one is floated just foul into the third base side. He was late on an off-speed pitch.
Yeah, and Matt Sweeney, he's thrown 92 pitches, and so for Riley Donahue, it's all about putting a good at bat together. Even if you're not able to do anything, not get a single, as he's going to be able to anyways, as he hits the left side to the shortstop. Crenshaw, a little late, picking up the ball in left field, and Crenshaw's going to be tagged out at third. Picked up though by George Jennings. He bobbled a little bit, took his time, and he throws down Crenshaw, but Donahue gets to second, and unfortunately for the Gauchos, now they only have a person at second with 1 out.
Yeah, you got to wonder what the thought process was right there for Crenshaw. A little bit of a bobble over there in left center field, but he had it almost immediately, and Crenshaw wasn't even like an eighth over to third base by the time the throw was in. It was a very, very...
Now batting number 1, Hunter Lessard.
Very, very questionable decision made there by Crenshaw, and you got to wonder what the thought process is for a coach like Grant, as just putting in someone like that, and trusting him to make a good decision, and he gets called out on the base path, Seth.
Yeah, and I mean, Jennings did bobble it, but at the same time, he was unable to, he didn't have enough speed. He didn't have the momentum going, and so that was what was tough. Is if that ball was hit to right field, you maybe have a better chance, but because it was hit to left field, even though it was bobbled, it still got gunned down.
And now you have Hunter Lessard in the plates. Runner in scoring position in Donahue, but already 0-2 as that one's floated into center field, and it looks like it's going to be picked up by the center fielder, not advancing as Donahue, staying over at second base. And 2 outs now for the Gauchos, and what could have been a pretty good scoring inning is turned into one that is 2 outs and runner on second base, Seth.
Yeah, and that's what's tough is you had a guy early on, and you probably would have had first and second, but instead you have 2 outs and a guy on second.
Now batting number 33, Sawyer Treese.
So now coming in is Sawyer Treese, as we talked about him in the last half inning, being a pretty off to the right side and over there in left field. A very big ballpark this is, though, and very deep as well, 370, 340 all around, and just big ballpark in general, as Sawyer Treese takes one there for a ball, 1-0.
Yeah, and Sweeney closing in on 100 pitches. He's at 97, and here comes his 98th on a 1-0 count, and it's a strike.
Just catching that high outside corner, and Sweeney with his 99th pitch about to be right now, and a runner in on second base, scoring position here. 2 outs to go. 2 outs here in the 6th inning, as the Gauchos looking to decrease this deficit here. 4-2 the score. Paradise Valley in the lead.
Yeah, and for Sweeney, he's thrown 59 strikes in his 99 pitches, and so for Treese, hopefully he can get something good to hit here. You need to get this one right here, for sure. You got to cut the lead to 1, especially when you have an opportunity like this, and here's Sweeney's pitch. It's high. Good ball, too.
One more pitch, kid.
So we got to wonder if this is going to be the last inning for Sweeney as well. 2-2 count here, 2 outs. Once again, a game that the Gauchos need to win in order to keep their playoffs hopes alive, as that one is drifted over to right center field, and it's going to be caught over there in right center, and that is going to move on to the 7th inning here in Glendale. 4-2 still the score. Paradise Valley in the lead. We'll be right back here on the Gauchos Livestream Network.
Welcome back to the Gauchos live stream of Glendale Community College baseball as they take on Paradise Valley. As a ball rolls in from the Paradise Valley bullpen before we can get the top of the seventh inning started, as the home plate umpire shows that he's got a cannon himself, impressing the Paradise Valley bench. As Selbrisky coming in, 99 pitches, he's given up 4 runs so far. Here's his 100th pitch, and it's going to be a strike. So Brisky so far giving up 4 runs, 1 in the first, 1 in the second, and 2 in the top of the 6th inning. The Gauchos have been able to get 2 of those runs back, 1 in the third, 1 in the fourth. As here comes Brisky's 0-1. It's going to be a little bit outside, and that evens the count. Coming in for Ennis, he's had a single. He's had a ground out to the first baseman, and he's also flown out to left field. Here's the 1-1 from Brisky, and it's popped out over the Gauchos dugout, and now Brisky ahead 1-2 as Tyler Collins warms up in the Gauchos bullpen. You have to assume is we're going to get another timeout, maybe? No. Yeah, we're going to get a timeout as the ball from the bullpen in Paradise Valley is losing control of the warm-up pitches. Anyways, back to it. 1-2. It's Logan Ennis. It's Bo Brisky. As Brisky looks in for his sign, he gets it. He winds up, and here's the pitch. It's low in the dirt and outside for ball 2. Ennis has worked the count to 2-2. So the Gauchos so far have been able to get a lot of hitting, some base running errors, and so for the Gauchos, they need to do a little better job on the base paths, as Brisky's 2-2 pitch is going to be skied into left field. It's a little bloop, so Treese loses his hat, but he catches the ball, and that's going to be 1 out.
So yeah, 1 out in the inning here, top of the 7th, and Paradise Valley looking to add to that lead.
Second baseman, number 12, Brady Hyde.
So in comes Brady Hyde, who had that double very early on in the game, and definitely a force to reckon with on at the plate. And Brisky's still working in this game, as we just have someone working in the bullpen. As the first one's an off-speed pitch in there for a strike.
Yeah, and Bo Brisky, he was able to get ahead in that count. It did eventually get to 2-2, but what's important is you're working ahead, and now he's ahead one more time, 0-1.
The 0-1 here from Brisky, and it's a fastball down in the dirt, 1-1. And a Gauchos team who needs to, pick up the slack a little bit. They definitely need to win this game if they want any chance going into tomorrow's road game. And Paradise Valley looking to clinch their spot in the playoffs right now.
Yeah, and for the Gauchos, they do talk about one next best thing, but right now time's getting a little tight, as here's the pitch from Brisky, and it's going to be a strike at the knees. And when the Gauchos get back up to bat, they'll have 9 outs to score 2 runs, and that doesn't include any runs Paradise Valley might score, in the top of their innings. And so it's really important to limit Paradise Valley at the same time as there's a pitch, and it's off the end of the bat, and it's going to be safe. Hyde using his speed as it went off the end of the bat, and it's going to be safe, a guy on first. As Brisky, that's not the way you wanted that to go, no, especially the way he pitched in that at bat.
And it was always going to be a hard play for Brisky to make. It was even going to be a hard play for the third baseman Lassard to make. But things like that happen. Just a little blooper that kind of just goes the opposite way that you want it to, and just things like that happen in baseball. And now there's a runner on first, and coming up to the plate now is going to be Malkin. Off-speed pitch in there for a strike.
Now betting, catcher number 12, Matt Malkin.
Malkin doing a good job today at the plate, getting behind a lot of those crazy pitches that sometimes get over there. 4th inning wasn't a very good one for him. He actually caught one right in the dome. Kind of moved his mask out of the way, got a little shell shock for a second, had to find the ball.
Hey, make sure you stop.
And for Riley Donahue, he's a little frustrated. He thought he got Hyde over at first base. He didn't like the safe call, but that's what it is. And now Brisky working ahead 0-1, looking to get a ground ball and get out of this inning.
1 out here in the top of the 7th. Paradise Valley with a lead, 4-2 here in this game. Nice day for baseball here in Glendale, Arizona, as that one's an off-speed pitch, just rips into left field, and that might be extra bases, as making his way over to third base is going to be...
It's going to be Hyde. Hyde was able to get on his horse, and so a good job by Treese to throw it into second instead of throwing home to avoid a double, and we're going to have a courtesy runner for Matt Malkin.
And at least you have a possibility of a double play right here.
Now batting, right fielder number 37, Harry Guard.
Now it looks like Heisinger, he comes out, taps the right arm, and we're going to see a little bit of Tyler Collins when we come back. Paradise Valley 4, Glendale Gauchos 2. We'll be back here on the Gauchos live stream network.
So Tyler Collins now the new pitcher here for the Gauchos.
Yeah, and Tyler Collins has given up 11 home runs this year, but he's probably the Gauchos' best reliever. And now here comes Collins with his first pitch, and it's hit into left field. Sawyer Treese almost had trouble tracking it. He's able to grab it, but it's going to be a sac fly. And the Pumas are going to get one more run to bolster their lead.
Tagging up with Hyde, and now it's in the 5-2 ball game. It's going to be an earned run. It's going to be an earned run for Brisky.
Now batting, center fielder number 39, Dylan Cole.
Yeah, and for Tyler Collins, I mean, it's unfortunate, but you are able to get one out and get your team closer to getting into the dugout.
So one out here in the 7th. Still one runner on. 5-2 ball game, and now the Gauchos in their next at-bat really have to get things going offensively, as that's already a one ball. Collins with the 1-0. Fastball just a little bit low, and it's 2-0 now.
Yeah, and for Tyler Collins, he might have felt like he should have gotten that strike call there, but it was a little low and maybe just a tad outside. But for Tyler Collins, what's important here is getting this last out and allowing your team to use those final 3 outs, as there's a 2-0 strike to make it 2-1 to get your guys back in the dugout so they can start hitting the ball.
Come on, Dale!
So for Tyler Collins, he's looking in. It's really windy. A lot of the dust blowing around here at the baseball field, and the air looks a little dusty as well. As here's the pitch from Collins, a little off speed. It's low and outside for ball 3. And for the Gauchos, down 5-2, their playoff hopes are going to rest on their final 9 outs. And what's most important is getting out of this one without giving up any more runs.
Yeah, down to the final 9 outs, and Collins working from the stretch here. Runner on first, down by 3. Running is
Good swing, Dale.
the pinch runner over there. That's actually number 23, Tom McCarty, pinch running over there at first base. He was running on the play, but it's fouled off. And the count's now going to stand full at 3-2. And once again, you're probably going to see McCarty running with a full count with 2 outs here in the 7th inning.
Yeah, and with McCarty, he's actually the courtesy runner for the catcher, Matt Malkin, in junior college. He almost gets picked off over at first by Tyler Collins. In junior college, you're allowed to have a courtesy runner, meaning that whoever he runs for is still out of back in the game. For the most part, you see it for the catchers. I don't know if I've seen it for any other position other than the catcher. But that's a swinging strike 3. Tyler Collins gets the Gauchos out of the inning, but not before Paradise Valley extends the lead.
We'll see you in the bottom of the 7th inning here in this one. Down 5-2 are the Gauchos, and we will see you right here on the Gauchos Livestream Network. So back in now in the bottom of the 7th inning of this one, 5-2 is the score. Paradise Valley are currently, as it stands, going to be in the playoffs as that 4 seed. And Seth down to their final 9 at bats. And stepping in is Dakota Solis seeing a first strike, and down to their final 9 outs. You got to wonder if they got to get the bats going right now. Not in the 8th inning, not in the 9th inning. They have to do it right now.
Yeah, they need to get one at least per inning as that pitch is in the dirt. And they have a new pitcher in there, Justin Wallace. You don't have a tired Matt Sweeney in there anymore. But Wallace was having a hard time controlling his pitches during warm-up, so let's see if that translates over into game time.
The 1-1 to Solis here from the new pitcher Wallace, as that one's floated over to the shortstop side and is going to get through for a single. Solis rounding first base, and a quick leadoff runner here for the Gauchos, much needed, as now stepping in is going to be the leadoff hitter Salaya.
Now batting number 12, Elijah Salaya.
So Salaya with 1 single today, as Wallace going to work from the stretch here.
And that's what you need if you're the Gauchos. You need a single like that to start it. As if the ball in the dirt, and Dakota Solis doesn't makes a good decision by not going.
Nice job of recollecting there by Malkin. Had a good job behind the plate today.
Yeah,
Getting behind those balls and just, keeping them where they were needs to be. A couple pass balls today, but not necessarily his faults. Caught one right in the dome, got shell-shocked a little bit, but nonetheless a 1-1 count here.
It's in the dirt again, ball 2, and right now the Gauchos putting together some patient at bats, and that's exactly what they need. Down by 3. You need base runners before you can score runs. Don't try to score runs before base runners. It's like cart before the horse, egg before the chicken, or chicken before the egg, etc. I actually screwed that up. But hey, that's all right.
Celaya takes ball 3. He has hit a couple home runs this season, but not necessarily needing that right now. Just need a couple runners and just get some runs on the board. Down by 3 here in the 7th inning. They have time, but they don't necessarily want to wait to use that time. As runner on first base, and a 3-0 pitch is coming in, and that's going to be in there for a strike. 3-1. Celaya probably taking all the way there. Just waiting for Wallace to put in a pitch. Once again, over there at first base is Dakota Solis, the second baseman, and in comes the 3-1 pitch. That's going to be down in the dirt for ball 4. So already 2 walks here for Wallace, and head coach of the Pumas making his way over to the pitching mound, just probably going to tell him to cool off a little bit.
Yeah, and for the Gauchos, this is exactly what you wanted, and we're going to get a new pitcher. That's it. 2 walks, and that's going to be it. As the Pumas know, they need to win this game. They do not want to go back home. Even though they're at home, the pressure is going to be on them because they get 2 chances. And so when we come back, we're going to take a look at the new Pumas pitcher, Travis Bailey. The Gauchos down 5-2, but have runners on first and second and no out. We'll be back here on the Gauchos live stream network.
So back in now with our new pitcher, Travis Bailey, number 41, and he'll see first Cameron Shanks, the catcher for the Gauchos. Runner in scoring position, second and first now, with nobody out actually. Bottom of the 7th inning, as bunt is shown. Nice bunt there by Shanks, and just throwing it over to first base, as it is going to be an out. Cameron Shanks doing his job on the bunts, and there are now runners at third and second with only 1 out, and that's going to leave it up for Jesus Azuaje, number 2, already with a couple singles to his name in this game.
Now batting number 2, Jesus Azuaje.
Hey, run the well off the dish.
So once again, runners at second and third here. 1 person out. 5-2 the score now. And a single can bring that down to a 1-run deficit for Azuaje. As that is a changeup in there for a strike, 0-1. to the Gauchos shortstop. Very windy day here in Glendale, Arizona, going southwest. And as it would stand, that would pretty much help any ball that's hit in the air.
Yeah, and right now for Jesus Wahe, it's all about getting something in play and into the outfield. Because if you can do that, you got two speedy guys on base, so you'll pretty much get 2 runs. And there's a sidearm delivery, and that's going to be outside. Bailey's been throwing sidearm, and so he's going to get that one on the outside, but not going to get the strike. But for Wahe, it's all about getting in the outfield, whether it be in the air or on the ground, preferably on the ground to get both, but if you can get at least one, that's what's important.
That one is just a bit outside for Azwahe, and I believe it's a 3-1 count now, and if he can get on base and load it up, that's going to bring up Kruger for a very crucial at-bat.
Yeah, if you can load the bases, I wonder if the red light's going to be on, unless it's one of those one-pitch,
3-1 now, and that's going to be high, and that's ball 4, and the bases are loaded now for Mason Kruger.
And this is probably the most important at bat of the game.
Perhaps even the season, as they need to win this game to even have a chance tomorrow. Otherwise, tomorrow's virtually an exhibition game.
Now batting number 21, Mason Kruger.
So the base is loaded now. Down by 3 are the Gauchos, and up comes Kruger, and that one's down. Ball 1. So already a couple of walks from Wallace earlier on, and immediately coming in is Bailey, and he walks the first batter that he sees as well.
Yeah, and for Kruger, 3 straight walks from 2 different pitchers, not hitting the strike zone. So we'll see if we can get anything. That's going to be down at the knees for a strike.
So Bailey really needing to get out of this jam. Only 1 out, bases loaded here, and the cleanup hitter, Mason Kruger, in there right now with a very important job to do, as Bailey needs to think it over.
Yeah, and Bailey steps off. He needs to be careful. I mean, it's obvious when you have the bases loaded and 1 out, but if you get something, you put something down the middle, we could be talking about Kruger standing on second with nobody else on the base paths.
As that one almost gets in there for a strike, just a little bit outside, perhaps a little bit low, and it's going to be 2-1 here to the cleanup hitter for the Gauchos.
Yeah, and for GCC, a lot of these pitchers are getting close to the strike zone, but it seems to be tightening up just a little bit, so don't swing anything you don't like right now.
Ball 3, and you don't want to walk in a run, and keep in mind Lucas Wall on deck has had a pretty good game at the plate as well.
Well, and Wall actually got taken out for Wasey Crenshaw, so it's going to be Mitchell Allen, but that's a guy who played at San Diego State in the fall. He was in practice at a Division I NCAA school, so it's a guy that can play, top D1 college ball coming to the plate.
As that is ball 4, and that is going to walk in a run. That earned run is actually going to go to Wallace, but nonetheless, it's a 5-3 game now. And coming up, like you said, is going to be...
Now batting number 7, Mitchell Allen.
Is going to be Mitchell Allen.
And like I said earlier, he's a kid that was at San Diego State in the fall, decided to come back to GCC, mostly because of Coach Ed Trujillo, the assistant coach, who's going to take over for Coach Grant at the end of the season. Actually, that's another thing we never mentioned at the top of the broadcast, is this is Coach Grant's final home game at Glendale Community College, over 1,000 wins, and so he's never won a national championship before, so let's see if his players can kind of find a will to get him into the playoffs. And once you're in there, everybody's record's back to 0-0. It doesn't matter what happened. As coming out is going to be Travis Bailey, and Pumas are bringing their 3rd pitcher of the inning to try to get out of this one in the bottom of the 7th. We'll be back. Bases loaded. Gauchos have 1 out. It's the Pumas 5, your Gauchos 3. We'll be back here on the Gauchos live stream network.
So back in now here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Score now 5-3. The bases are loaded here for the Gauchos. And out the plate is still going to be Mitchell Allen, number 7. But a new pitcher here for the Pumas as number 29, Tristan Thomas, comes into the game already with 1 out, but the bases are loaded. And that's a quick strike 1 there for Thomas. A well-needed strike considering the last couple pitchers really couldn't find the strike zone, Seth.
Yeah, and I think for Mitchell Allen, that's usually a pitch he'll crush into left field, but he wanted to see if he was actually going to throw a strike, and unfortunately for him, he did. But just because he throws 1 strike doesn't mean he's going to throw 2 or 3. So just be careful. Don't swing at the next one just because you think he's going to throw a strike.
The 0-1 coming up here to Mitchell Allen. And that is a off-speed pitch that probably wasn't finished on because it finished really high. And it's going to be a 1-1 count now.
Yeah, it's like you said, it didn't look like it got finished, and it was a curveball that just never kind of curved down, and I think it may have been lucky, because if it curved down back into the strike zone, we might be talking about a grand slam as he was the 1-1. And Mitchell Allen tried it, and it's now 1-2.
Really wanted that one fastball high up, a little higher than the numbers, but just swinging for the fences on that one was Allen. Wanted to take the lead immediately, but 1-2 is the count now. As that is a curveball, a very good curveball I should add, but 2-2 is going to be the count now off of that curveball from Thomas.
And a good job by Allen last pitch. He wanted to hit that fastball into the apartments across the street, but that curveball started in the strike zone once it released from the hand. Good job by Mitchell to get back in the zone, stay focused, stay patient, take that ball.
Yeah, definitely disciplined enough to lay off that curveball. But 2-2 the count now. We're going to see what Thomas throws at him. And if you're Allen, you at least want to get the ball in play. Only 1 out. You don't want to ground into a double play, but you want to get it at least into the outfield somewhere. And he wanted that one as well. Laid off that one, and it's a full count with 1 out. Here the bases loaded. Gauchos down 5-3 here. And potentially could walk in another run.
And with Mitchell Allen, good job laying off again. He did want it. With that curveball, if it starts kind of at your waist, you know it's going to fall out of the zone for the most part, so a good job holding off there. So here's 3-2. Oh! Strike 3.
Strike 3 on a fastball high, and Allen swung for the fences again. And the second out of the inning now here in the bottom of the 7th as Riley Donahue represents a leading run, and with the bases loaded still is going to want to get something done here.
Now batting number 10, Riley Donahue.
Donahue doing pretty well for himself this game. Has a single.
I know we got the win.
As Donahue floats it over to the right field side, and it gets down for a base. Probably extra bases as 1 run comes across, 2 runs comes across. It's a tie game, and coming in to score is the leading run, and Donahue gets into third with a stand-up triple, and the Gauchos have taken the lead on 1 swing of the bat by Riley Donahue.
What a swing. The Pumas were pumped up after that strikeout, and that first pitch, he rips it right down the right field line and gets himself a triple.
So in the lead now are the Gauchos, 6-5. And upcoming is Hunter Lassard, and you got to want to see what he can do. This inning
Now
isn't over
batting
yet.
number 1, Hunter Lassard.
But as I was saying, this inning is not over yet. Hunter Lassard at the plate right now, and Donahue's on third, 2 outs to go, and Lassard takes a strike, 0-1. But what a swing from Donahue on sophomore day, no less. His last home game of his college career, or at least at Glendale Community College, and doing a very good job for himself right now, as it's an 0-1 count here to Lassard, and that one's low for a ball set.
Yeah, and a good job by Donahue, like I said. Obviously, that was a big strikeout, and that first pitch, he wasn't waiting around to see if he was throwing a ball. He knew this kid could throw strikes consistently, so instead he rips it down the right field line to give his team the lead.
And a nice swing there from Lassard, but ultimately getting nothing on the end of it, and it's going to be a 1-2 count now. 2 outs to go. See if Thomas can't get out of this little jam he's got himself in. None of the runs actually are his that are earned, except for the one that came and scored at the very end. So all those runs being earned by the other pitchers in the inning, as that one's fouled off to the backstop.
Yeah, and for Paradise Valley, they've used 3 pitchers this inning, and they've all thrown a total of 30 pitches. So it's taken 30 pitchers, or not 30 pitchers, 30 pitches, and 3 pitchers. They're not out of this inning, and when they do get out of this inning, they will be down.
And I believe 4 walks. Am I correct?
Yeah, and it's just a command, and for it, not with Thomas. Thomas hasn't walked anybody yet. Obviously, he's only in 3 batters, but he did get a strikeout, and he was throwing strikes a little more consistently. But the last 2 were not. Couldn't find the strike zone, and that's how the bases got loaded. As a curveball is outside the Paradise Valley bench, looking for the little strike call, but it's only 2-2 now as Hunter Lassard is trying to battle back. Not a great at bat so far. A couple of his swings haven't been great. He was able to foul the pitch off prior, and now here's another pitch he fouls off.
So good job by Lassard of staying in this at bat. Once again, runner on third. And if you're just joining us here, the Gauchos have taken the lead off one swing of the at bat of Riley Donahue, triple into right field, and a 6-5 lead now the Gauchos have over the Paradise Valley Pumas. They need to win this game to stay alive in the playoff hopes, and should they win today, they also need to win tomorrow on the road at Paradise Valley, as that fastball is high for a ball, and it is now a full count. Once again, 3-2, 2 outs, runner on third.
Yeah, and for Hunter Lassard, you saw early in the bat he was a little more aggressive. This time he was able to be a little patient. Saw that fastball high, wanted to swing, but held off. As here's the 3-2 pitch. He swings at it. It's popped up into right field. It's going to get near the right field line. It's going to drop. It drops in.
Drop fair, and incoming to score is Donahue, and now it's a 7-5 ball game, a 2-run lead for the Gauchos.
Yeah, it dropped in. A little bloop single there. It looked like it was hanging. That was ball 4 for sure, but instead it's a bloop single, and the Gauchos now have the lead, 7-5.
And now Sawyer Treese has his opportunity to add to this. Only a runner on first base, but we can't.
Now batting number 33, Sawyer Treese.
Roll out.
And he's running. It's a strike. Hunter Lassard was running.
And Malkin just drops the ball, and now we have another runner in scoring position here.
What was the pitch, please? What was the pitch there? Step off.
And we're looking for the pitch call there. So they do call the strike, but they were unsure, and I was unsure as well because Malkin did drop the ball. And so it was a strike, and now Sawyer Treese down 0-1.
0-1 the call. Runner at second.
Treese
And it's
is
fouled off to the third base side.
Yeah, and a good job there by Treese. Even though he's down 0-2, he's battling, and we'll see what he can do. We'll see what he can do here, even though there is 2 strikes on him. And now stepping off there is Thomas. And the wind's picking up a lot more, as it's pretty evident by kind of how dry the field is. A lot of dust and debris actually in our booth here. It's all over my tablet where I'm keeping
all over my
score.
laptop, and it's getting all over Sawyer right now as the 0-2 pitch here, 2 outs, runner in scoring position, as just laying off that one was Treese. For a second it looked like he wanted to swing at that one in the dirt, but laying off, and it's a 1-2 count now.
Yeah, and so for Treese, he's just got to be patient here. He knows he can battle back into it. He's got to know that Thomas isn't necessarily going to throw him anything good on these next 2 pitches, and if he can get evened up back to 2-2, you don't know what. You're not exactly sure what you can get, but you're going to get something better than you are on 0-2.
Nice job by Malkin to get that ball in the dirt. It's 2-2 the call now as a fastball in the dirt nearly gets past the Pumas catcher.
Yeah, and Malkin, the last 2 pitches have almost gotten by him. And you think about it, if those 2 pitches do get by him, we're talking about an 8-5 lead instead of 7-5, and instead Lassard has to hold at second.
2-2, and just again fouled off by Treese. Good job staying in this one. Really wants to expand that league. Already up 7-5 are the Gauchos. 12 hits to their name, 11 to Paradise Valley's. And we have a ball game here in the bottom of the 7th inning.
Yeah, a huge effort by Glendale Community College. It's always about next best thing, always about being calm, and they've been able to get themselves back into it as a curveball fouled off by Treese hits the umpire in the right ear. And he is not feeling good about that swing right there.
Caught him right in the ear, right in between the mask and underneath his ear, almost in his neck area. And yeah, he's a little shaken up right now.
We'll see if he's all right. He's looking at his mask, seeing if it's broken. Here comes the trainer. But so far, it's been a great game for the Gauchos. They didn't start off the greatest. We'll take a look at the score by inning. In the first inning, Paradise Valley, or in the first 2 innings, they each get a run. The Gauchos strike back in the third and fourth to tie the game at 2. In the top of the sixth, the Paradise Valley Pumas get 2. They add 1 more in the seventh, but right now 5 runs in Glendale's half of the seventh, and they have the 7-5 lead. And it could get a little farther if Sawyer Treese can get a ball into the outfield.
Absolutely, and Sawyer Treese definitely looking to increase that lead. And it looks like the umpire is going to be okay. Maybe a little bit shaken up, but he's gonna iron it out, and we're gonna continue this at bat. 2-2 the count here. 2 outs in the bottom of the 7th inning. Runner on second. Glendale just taking the lead off a nice triple by Riley Donahue as that ball is in the dirt once again. 3-2 the count here with 2 outs. You're not going to see any running over there at second base as he's not on first base. No runner over at first.
Yes, and for Treese, he was down 0-2, fouled some pitches off, got himself back to 3-2. Let's see if he can work himself on the base here.
Nonetheless, a good at-bat, but he swings and misses at that one. That is going to end the inning, but what a job by the Gauchos getting back into this one and currently going into the top of the 8th in the lead 7-5. We'll be right back with the top of the 8th on this one. You're watching the Gauchos Livestream Network. So the top of the 8th inning now, and Paradise Valley finding themselves as the team that are in the hunt now, as they are down by 2 going into this 8th inning. Tyler Collins still on the mound, and the first pitch is a ball to the leadoff hitter here for the Pumas.
Yeah, and right now for the Gauchos, yes, you were able to get the lead back, but it's all about maintaining. You've got to keep that 2-run lead. Don't get ahead of yourselves. This isn't the top of the 9th. This isn't the top of the 9th with 2 outs. This is the top of the 8th fresh, so you need to focus on getting these 6 outs.
Absolutely. 6 outs left to go, and Tyler Collins definitely doing a good job of working that way. He would be the winning pitcher right now should the Gauchos stick this one out. And a nice off-speed pitch there. You can hear a little bit of extra effort from Collins there as he delivered that curveball. But 1-2 the count now.
Yeah, and for Tyler Collins, he's got 10 pitches so far. As here's his 11th. Oh, off the end of the bat. It's going to get past Solis. No, he picks it up. He throws it. It's going to bounce to Donahue, but not before Kirk is able to get there safely.
I think that little bounce on the mound kind of helps Solis being able to get to the ball, but it was never going to be a play that it was going to be made. It was always going to be an infield single. Too much wheels over there.
Now batting, left fielder number 19, George Jennings.
So it's going to be George Jennings stepping up to the plate for Paradise Valley. We're in the top of the 8th here. Gauchos 7, Pumas 5, as the pitch is high and a little bit inside for ball 1.
Yeah, so runner on at first, and you got to wonder if you're Paradise Valley. You got to get something going in this inning to avoid getting into the 9th inning, needing runs, chasing. You don't want to be in that position, as that one's in there for a strike.
If you're Paradise Valley right now, do you play small ball?
I don't think so. You know, your hitters have been doing a good job all game of getting singles and getting their bat on the ball. I think you trust your hitters. should it come to something like second and third maybe, but you're down 2 runs, and every out, especially late in the game, is precious as there's a ball right there. So you don't want to be just wasting outs, and I think they're just going to be swinging their bats.
That's true. Like you said, if you're only down maybe 1 run, you'd consider it, but you're at 2 runs and you only have 6 outs left, and every out is valuable. So
that one is ripped into center field, and it is going to drop, and that's probably going to be extra bases, making his way over to third base, and he is going to score. And coming in to score is going to be Kirk. And Jennings with a triple, had a double earlier on in the game, but Jennings with a stand-up triple, RBI triple, and now Paradise Valley is within 1 run.
Yeah, and it's 1 run. You have a guy on third and no outs, so you have to find a way to keep that runner from scoring. The Gauchos are going to start to play in, as Wahe looked like he was playing back a little bit, but instead he's coming in. And the last time the Gauchos were in, the ball got hit right by him, and now the game could be tied with 1 swing of the bat here from Turner Lace. The first pitch is in the dirt for a ball.
Now batting, third baseman number 20, Turner Lace.
Yeah, and you definitely don't want to, give something up too bad here. That tying run is over at third base right now, and Lace has the opportunity to tie the game up right now with nobody out.
Yeah, and percentages show that this run's probably going to get knocked in, but if you're Tyler Collins, if you can get something on the ground in the infield, are in, they can eat that up, either hold them or get them out at home, or if you can get yourself a strikeout, you definitely increase your odds.
Great job!
Oh, Cameron shakes. That pitch was outside in the other's batter's box. Turner Lace bat's right-handed, so it was in the left-hander's batter's box. And Shanks didn't use his body. He reached out, and that's always dangerous as a catcher, but he's able to keep it in front of him and keep that runner at third.
Here comes, and a nice swing there, but nothing on the end of it for Lace, and now he's down 2-2. So if you can get a strikeout here, that would work pretty well in your favor. And you got to get pretty much 2 straight outs so you can avoid a sac fly opportunity for Paradise Valley.
Yeah, and you got to get 2 straight outs, and what you're hoping is that ball gets hit on the ground of the infielders and that runner goes. You're hoping that runner goes on contact on a ground ball in the infield, because if your infielders can swallow that up, he's pretty much going to get gunned down at home. The guys in the infield for the Gauchos have pretty accurate arms, and so if they can get it home in time, it's not going to be a problem. As Tyler Collins looks at the 2-2, and it's hit foul.
Right over to the Paradise Valley bench.
And that's a situation just like Hunter Lassard when he had his bloop single. When a guy reaches down like that, makes contact, sometimes that ball will just float over people's heads. Luckily for Collins, it's a foul, and now he gets 2-2 one more time. Gauchos 6, Paradise Valley. And there's a ball 3. Gauchos 7, Paradise Valley 6, and Tyler Collins in danger of walking and getting the 3rd straight batter on base for Paradise Valley in the top of the 8th. Gauchos have to win this game in order to stay alive in playoff contention. The Pumas just need 1 this weekend, and if they can take this one, they don't have to worry about winning at home as Turner Lace gets in the left field, and the Pumas now tie the game at 7.
Absolutely ripping that ball into left field, and it's now a tie ball game once again.
And it looks like the pitching coach, John Huizinga, is coming out, and he's going to call for a new pitcher. So we'll be back. The Pumas have quickly tied this game at 7. No outs left. Man on first. We'll be back here on the Gauchos Sports live stream.
So back in now, as the new pitcher for the Gauchos is going to be number 19, Cipriano Lucero. And it's going to be Briston, the shortstop, coming in to bats. Runner on first base now as bunts is shown. It's a tie ball game right now. 7-7 here in the top of the 8th inning. Once again, the Gauchos needing to win this game. Paradise Valley also needing to win this game because they need to get into the playoffs as well.
Yeah, and like we talked about earlier, it's all about staying in the moment for the Gauchos. You know you have to win 2, but you have to win 1 before you can win 2. That's going to be ball 2. 2-0 as Cipriano Lucero not starting out too great. And it looks like it's Cody Fisher warming up down in the bullpen for the Gauchos.
2-0 the count. Lucero, not best start you would want here. Still nobody out here in the 8th inning. In comes the pitch. It's a fastball high. And now Lucero can't find the strike zone.
Looks like we're going to get the red light there for the man at the plate, Briston. And so Cipriano Lucero down 3-0. His first 3 pitches have not been in the strike zone.
Taking all the way, and that one is outside and high, and that is going to be a ball 4.
Yep, ball 4. And now coming into the plate is going to be Logan Ennis.
Now batting, first baseman number 1, Logan Ennis.
Yeah, Ennis having himself a pretty good game, and with a runner in scoring position now, finds himself in a position where he could give these Pumas the lead. Showing bunt was Ennis, comes back around, but it's a called strike anyway, 0-1.
Yeah, if you haven't been with us, it's been a crazy game. The Gauchos, who were down 5-2 in the bottom of the 7th, they scored 5 runs to